I respect and I appreciate her.
You're gonna be nothing now but a bitch to me. Do you understand that?
I did not have it on my 2024 bingo card for Renee to get dumped twice. Let's cover Renee and Chidi really quick. Renee is telling us that after they broke up, she has realized that Chidi only wanted her because of the visa. There was no other reason, because if he really loved her...
Because why aren't you coming at me in a loving way, you know?
But is that the same thing that you're showing him? Because you want people to respect you, you want Chidi to love you, and all you have shown him lately is hate and zero compassion. So, I don't know, Renee. It's you.
I'm flying out tonight. I moved it earlier, sooner.
Fortunately, she has made one right decision during this trip, which is to schedule her flight early, and she's leaving tonight. After Chidi found out that she was leaving, he was like, you know what, can we meet up again? So he's on his way to the hotel. For what? No fucking idea.
I'm hoping for closure. I deserve that, you know?
Chidi has decided to bring his sister with him. He doesn't necessarily explain why right here, but I think more than anything just to have backup. We've seen how explosive Renee can be, so I don't blame him for bringing Victoria with him.
Renee couldn't allow me to express my thoughts, and
so this is one of the reasons why he's here, because he wants to have that conversation with her. Throughout all the years that they have been together, she has demonstrated that, you know, she is not able to take any type of accountability or any type of criticism.
I believe this is necessary in order for us to heal.
Victoria steps away because she wants to allow Chidi to have this conversation by himself with Renee. And when she steps away, she tells us that she's extremely happy to know that this chapter of Chidi's life is finally over. And the only reason why she came is exactly what I said, because Rayne is explosive and she's an aggressive person. So if she starts yelling at him or acting out, she's going to step in, which I really do appreciate, because as we've seen, the producers are useless most of the time.
But I hope it's going to be positive.
Chidi sends Renee a message that he's downstairs so she can come down. And while this is happening, he tells us that he also wants to make sure that Renee understands.
I also want to assure Renee I don't have any qualms with her. I respect and I appreciate her.
And he really hopes that she's not gonna lose her mind. So once Renee gets there, she's just like, why did you call me here? Like, what are we going to talk about? I do want to highlight that I don't appreciate Chidi coming here to shit on her again, but then also calling her babe. Like,
yeah, babe. What's up?
Now you show up.
Maybe it's a cultural thing where he just calls her babe. But in this instance, you guys had a relationship. So the fact that you are already, you know, you already broke up with her and now you're coming here and being like, hi, babe. Come on, Chidi. We can do better than that.
It's weird to me that we just broke up and now he's here with gifts.
It only gets worse because Chidi came with gifts. It is upsetting to see that, you know, like I said, he already broke up with her and then he's showing up over here with gifts. I understand why Renee is upset. I would have been pissed too. Like, you just broke up with me and now you're showing over here to just tell me that you appreciate me and you brought me some gifts. Right now, it's not the time for you to give me gifts.
It's just him wanting to put on a image that he's not the bad guy.
I do agree with her on that. He is coming over here trying to show that he, you know, is the good guy. That was not even debatable. You're just trying to rub it in her face at this point, that you're better than her. And I don't know. I don't necessarily like that.
For all the love and sacrifices.
I also feel like Chidi wants to have the last word and say, you know, I ended things, or I made sure that she knew where I stand. I made sure that she knew that I don't want to be with her anymore. And I'm pretty sure that was clear last episode.
Why are you doing this?
Of course, you know that our relationship has not been all that rosy.
I think right now it's just redundant to continue this conversation when it's not going anywhere, because you know damn well that Renee is not willing to listen. And she literally shows that a few seconds later.
I've never done anything to you but reach for you, love you, try to wait.
She says that she sacrificed more, that she did so many things for him, but Come on, people. Like, love has sacrifices. You sacrifice hours of your job to come over here and meet Chidi. Chidi sacrificed his time to be here with you. But some sacrifices are worth doing.
What is so bad about me that you have to put me down the way you do?
There's a lot of bad things about you, Rayne.
It seems Rayne is not capable of having a mature conversation.
You are right, but this is also a conversation that shouldn't be taking place to start with. We should not be talking about this anymore. Last episode was enough to show you, Chidi, that there is no need to continue this relationship. There is no need to try to have a conversation with this woman. She cannot talk.
The only time
Go ahead.
The only time I have ever enjoyed this relationship was when we newly met.
If you were only happy at the beginning of the relationship, Chidi, then why did you continue this relationship with Rayne? I understand that sometimes we stay in, unhappy relationships because we think they're going to get better. But right now, you're here again. I don't know if I'm the only one, and I would love to hear your thoughts in regards to this. Do you guys think you guys would have set up another meeting with Rayne?
You are the biggest scammer I've ever come across and one of the worst.
So, of course, Rayne gets all the time, upset, starts cussing at him, calls him names.
You're gonna be nothing now but a bitch to me. Do you understand that?
As we seen, when Rayne gets frustrated, anything that comes to her head, she'll just spill it out. It's like she doesn't care.
Continue again.
I don't need to hear
It's
you.
over. I'm tired.
It's over.
This was actually one of the first times that I genuinely did feel bad for Rayne, and just because of how it played out. Like, I'm not saying that I support Rayne or that I think that she was right, but I do think it was a little heartless of Chidi to meet her after just to dump her again, technically, and to tell her that he was never happy with her. In her room, she's saying that
He should have never told me that he loved me.
those are things that you can't really take back. And I do feel like at the time when he said those things, he felt them in his heart, like he was really in love with her and he really did want to be with her. But then later on,
This is something that I have been struggling to admit to myself for a long time.
and I get that, sometimes you already know something and you want to lie to yourself over and over again and hope that it's not true when you know it is. So
Because I was so happy that she's not bothered about my condition.
he saw that as like, wow, she loves me for who I am. But in reality, she loved the fact that you were blind because you couldn't see her face. But the reality is that you could see her soul, and her soul is rotten.
I believe that I will, in spite of all my frailties and weaknesses,
That in the future, he can find someone that actually loves him for everything, not just his blindness, but who he is as a person. And that's where we left off with those two. I really hope that we don't get to see them again. And just because I'm tired of this whole situation where Chidi breaks up with her and then he goes, hey, can we meet up again? I just don't see the point. She's not going to listen to you and you're just going to break up with her again. But let's move on to the next couple.
Handsome Joe interview, aka Stud Muffin Joe, Playboy Joe.
Now we're gonna meet Joey from Florida. He was actually born in New Jersey and he grew up in a very tight-knit Italian family. He says, there was food cooking, smelling like garlic bread. Now I want some garlic bread. A typical Italian family, everyone's cooking, they're drinking wine, talking, there's so much noise. I love it. I genuinely love seeing families walking around in the kitchen, talking to each other, making food. It's such a homey feeling.
I feel like some of my family viewed me as someone that doesn't take life too seriously.
Joey is the typical bachelor. He likes to spend money, he likes to vacation, he likes to party, he likes to spend time with women. He doesn't say how, but we can assume what he means by that.
My priorities have shifted lately.
But everything changed a couple months ago because, there's a reason why he's here on 90 Day Fiancé. He met someone called Magda. Or Magda. So the way they met was very peculiar. He was video chatting with one of his friends and he called Magda in the back of the video call and then he was like, who's that hottie over there in the back? And then that's how They had a brief interaction with each other.
Definitely there was an attraction, but she told me was just visiting and that she lives in Poland.
You know, she just kept lingering in his head. So he decided that he was going to slid into her DMs. And from there, they just started to talk to one another every single day. They talked 24/7 in the kitchen, in the park, at the mall, everywhere.
Except for pooping. She does not want to poop next to me.
Now, Joey and his family are going to have lunch. And here's when his family asks him, how old is Magda? And he tells us,
24. Oh, she's 23. I'm sorry.
According to Joey, she is incredibly mature, you know, more mature than he is. He is 34-year-old and she is 23 years old. So let's see how that goes. You know, a lot of cultures sometimes date people that are older than them. Some of us have daddy issues and date men that are older than us on purpose. So here we are.
She's like a corrections officer, right?
She was, yeah.
Really? Oh, wow.
But then she quit.
Magda has made her intentions extremely clear to Joey. There's not going to be room for us to be like, well, she's using him and he doesn't know. Yes, he knows. He knows because she was working as a correctional officer. She quit her job. She told him that the reason why she did that was because she wants to come to the US. When he asked her, hey, why do you want to come here?
She wants to be a mother.
And I want it to happen right away. So she has already told him if he chooses to proceed with this relationship, it's because, you know, he found this haughty 23-year-old woman that is in love with him and infatuated with him. And that's not the only thing. He also has money.
Wants kids right away. That's her plan.
So, is that not a red flag?
And I agree because yes, it does seem like Magda wants to lock him. You know, you gotta keep that man. She already saw the price and she is going to get it. So what better way to keep him close than to give him babies?
Her wanting to come to America and have kids, I wonder if that's part of the deal.
Of course, Joey's family is concerned because all the things they're hearing is just popping a bunch of red flags in their head. It is like, Joey, are you not seeing this? Like, this woman is actually using you. But I think Joey is just too caught up on the fact that, like I said, this is a 23-year-old hot woman that is actually seeing him, that wants to have kids with him, that wants to spend her life with him. So he's not, like, he's not paying attention to any of this. And even if he is, he's ignoring it.
See how she lives, meet the people she lives with. And that's what we're gonna know after we invest the time and energy.
But I think this girl is actually expecting a ring after those 3 weeks, which is, I don't know, it's kind of wild to me. And even the parents are like, dude, your mom and I dated for 10 years before we even got engaged to one another. But Joey's gonna ignore this because who cares?
I do not know if 3 weeks is the right amount of time to make.
I'm just going to say that 3 weeks is not enough, Joey. You should probably take longer, you know, to propose to someone. But, you know, to each their own. We'll see what happens. I do want to mention that Magda has not asked Joey for any financial help because I do think that's important to keep in mind. And he also says that he's very successful as a realtor.
Things have been a little tense in the last few days, and she's not too happy with me right now.
I'm pretty sure Joey just wants to see her and, you know, have a great time with her. He does not want to talk about those serious conversations that, of course, she does.
My friends are very big personalities as well. Growing up,
It looks like some of them are huge plastics too. And now he's telling us after 5 hours that the reason why Magda is upset is because Magda threw away all the men that she was talking to. But Joey did not do the same thing.
I had sexual intercourse 2.5 months ago.
And that's why I think it's so important for people to have those conversations. Nowadays, you can't just assume. You need to make sure that that person is not in a situationship.
I didn't even think it was like something wrong I did. We were just, in my eyes, getting to know each other.
In Joey's eyes, he didn't think they were in a relationship. They never had that conversation. They never put a title to the relationship. So he didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
And I was very honest with her.
At least I see it a little bit different. It's not, you know, completely out of what he said. But if you said you're being honest, then shouldn't you tell her Why does it take her to ask you for you to tell her?
So I had to start sharing my location.
So she demanded you share your location.
She did.
I don't necessarily understand how that helps at all when you're in Poland. Like, what are you going to do? Drive to Miami to see what he's doing? But I guess that's what she decided to do. That's what she asked him to do. And he said, of course. So now he's doing that. And on top of that,
Well, does she know that you and Jill have dated?
Oh, not at all. Oh my God, no. Because
they dated 7 years ago, under a year. And he says that he didn't think it was important to share that information with her. And I disagree. I completely disagree. I think that if you still have a relationship with your ex, even if you guys see each other like once a year, but you guys still talk to one another, that should be something that you discuss with every single one of your partners. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think it's important to share if you have a relationship with your ex?
I'm worried that, manipulation could come into effect.
Just like Joey's friends, I am also concerned that Magda is a little possessive and an extremely jealous person. I don't know how it's going to play out in the relationship, but as we already saw, like the fact that she asked for his location, when he made it clear, I didn't think we were in a relationship. We never had that discussion. And when she asked him, he did tell her. So I don't know. I feel like the bar is on the floor, guys.
Magda and I are always on the phone throughout the day, but
my worries about Magda only get worse when we realize that Joey and Magda are on the phone almost all the time. Literally almost 24/7. Because after what happened of her finding out that he had been intimate with someone else,
I think she's a little suspicious and might be keeping little tabs on me.
it's not just a thought, she is keeping tabs on you. His friend shared something earlier that I didn't want to bring up until now because he told us that Joey is actually pretty sexually active. There is a problem in this situation because when Joey is going around the store buying things for his trip, he points out the condoms and Magda tells him, nope, don't even bother to bring condoms because
I'm open for everyone.
we are not going to be sexually active. I don't trust you yet. We are getting to meet one another and I just don't think it's the time. And I get that. I completely understand that. For me, what raised alarm bells in my head was when she said that she doesn't want to be intimate with him until she gets to the US because she wants to make sure that she can trust him.
I want to wait until I will come to USA because I need to feel I trust you.
I feel, and this is just my opinion, that I think, she's using sex as a tool, as, you don't bring me to the US, you're not going to have sex. We are not going to be intimate. And to each their own. If that's what she wants to do and Joey's fine with that, that's their business. But that's also another red flag. I don't know. At least that's how I'm seeing this relationship so far.
I respect her and don't want to push her, obviously. But I did not expect her to say that the day before I leave to Poland.
And after that, that's when he starts having doubts. Not after everything his family brought up, not after the fact that she has told him, she wants to come here and have his kids, not after she quit her job. That's when the red flags are popping up in his head. Dun, 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 dun. Guys, Joey has not responded to any calls or messages. What could be the problem? So production goes over to his house and they're knocking on the door. Joey, come out. It's just the little wolf. We're here to see you. And he's not opening the door. He's not coming out, not answering any calls. What happened?
He's not answering his phone. He's not been answering the door.
My guess is that Joey's still taking a poop. Remember, he said he likes to take poops and FaceTime people. So maybe he's still taking a poop. But that's going to be all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. You can also subscribe if you haven't yet. And I will see you guys on the next video for the remaining couples. Bye-bye.